Picture a hotel full of 100 guests. Now, imagine 96 of them leaving frustrated and most likely never coming back because the experience didn't work for them. I'm Mike Clapper, and this is the Inclusioneer Lab. In our last video, we broke down the stats behind this. 96% of travelers with disabilities say hotels miss the mark when it comes to even meeting the most basic of needs. But here's the thing. Most hotels don't even know this is happening. I mean, let's be real for a second. They're not waking up in the morning saying, how can we alienate 96% of our guests? They're just flying blind. They're checking compliance boxes and thinking that's enough. That's why we need a framework, because good intentions don't fix broken experiences. And the hotels that keep guessing will leak money, loyalty, and trust. So today, I'm laying out the 3 pillars that actually transform hospitality. Get these right, and you will build the kind of guest experience people come back for again and again. Let's dive into the first pillar. Design that includes. Most hotels don't mean to design spaces that push people away, but when you build for the average guest, blind spots tend to show up fast. When design works, nobody notices, but when it doesn't work, everyone feels it. Here's a simple way to see what I mean. I want you to look at your top 3 touch points. Let's call them the lobby, the check-in experience, and the guest room. If welcome breaks down there, that follows your guest for the rest of the stay. So imagine this. You walk into the lobby and you're hit with loud echoes and a maze of couches with no clear path to the front desk. At check-in, the counter is so tall that the staff are leaning over just to pass you your room key. You finally make it to your room. But then you discover that the bathroom that was supposed to be accessible is anything but. These awkward design moments whisper, you don't belong here. And here's the truth. Great design doesn't just meet standards, it tells guests you do belong here without even saying a word. That's what design that includes really means. It's not about ramps and grab bars that are haplessly placed in bathrooms, but instead spaces that quietly, confidently welcome in everyone. And the beautiful thing is that beautiful design is only the beginning. Because once guests are in your space, it's the people who make or break the experience. Now let's talk about the second pillar, hospitality that elevates. This one isn't about grand gestures or amazing perks. It's about the moments that make your guests feel like they belong. Most service failures aren't about people being unkind. It's not about their attitude. It's simply about awareness. When staff don't know what to look for, even the kindest staff member can make a guest feel overlooked. And that awkward moments, the blank stare or the uncomfortable pause, can ruin an experience faster than even a broken elevator. But when the staff are trained, they're empowered and everything changes. Suddenly, service isn't reactive, it's anticipatory. Guests don't have to ask for help because help is already there. Let's look at Hilton. In late 2024, they launched a partnership with the app Be My Eyes. The app lets blind or low vision guests point their phone at something in a hotel, let's say a thermostat or a menu in a restaurant, even an elevator panel, and get instant help from trained Hilton staff. I mention this because the tech is cool, sure, but also because it proves a point. When you give staff the tools and awareness, you take away the awkward moments and give guests confidence and independence. And that's what elevated hospitality really looks like in practicality. The lesson is clear. When you create a culture of awareness, you don't just serve guests with disabilities, you lift the experience for everyone. But design and hospitality on their own aren't enough. That's why integration is everything. And funny enough, somebody proved this decades ago. Yep, you guessed it, my buddy Walt Disney. Disney Imagineering was really the first to pioneer this kind of framework. They didn't treat design, service, and operation as separate silos. They wove them together, and that's why everything on Disney property feels seamless. Not because every detail is perfect, but because the pieces reinforce each other. Look at Epcot. Walt imagined this as a blueprint for the future, where design, technology, and human possibility work together as one. That's the genius of Imagineering. It proved that integration isn't optional. It's the engine of consistency, loyalty, and delight. And that's the same principle behind the Inclusioneer framework that I'm building. One pillar alone won't transform hospitality, but together, design includes hospitality that elevates, and a solid system create experiences people trust every single time. So speaking of systems, you might be thinking, okay, I get design and I get service, but how do I make this consistent across my entire operation? This is where Pillar 3 comes in, systems that scale. Even the best design and the kindest staff can't cover for systems that don't deliver consistently every time. That's why leading brands are starting to rethink accessibility as a system. Take Hyatt, for example. In 2024, they surveyed over 1,000 neurodivergent travelers and caregivers to better understand what inclusion really looks like. Out of it came a set of scalable solutions. Weighted blankets and sensory kits as a part of their Hyatt Has It program. 3D hotel tours so families could preview the layout of the hotel before even booking. And personalized pre-arrival communication, because sometimes a phone call makes all the difference in the world. That's what happens when empathy turns into a system. It's not just about one-off fixes, it's about a consistent experience that can scale across your brand. And here's the best part. The technology is already here. Smart rooms where guests can control lighting and climate from their phone is here. Contactless check-in and digital keys that give independence instead of delay? You betcha. Even AI that analyzes guest feedback and flags issues before they explode online as bad reviews. This is the future of hospitality. Invisible, seamless, and built to deliver consistency every single time. Because design without systems leave gaps. Service without systems break down. But with the right systems in place, hospitality stops being random and starts being reliable. So here's the big takeaway. One pillar alone cannot transform hospitality. Design without training still leaves gaps. Service without systems break down. And systems without thoughtful design, that just scales mediocrity. But when you connect them all, design that includes hospitality that elevates and systems that scale, you stop checking boxes and start creating hospitality that actually works. This is where accessibility stops being framed as a side project, because it isn't just about doing the right thing. It's about doing the smart thing for your guests, your team, and most importantly, for your business. That's the power of the Inclusioneer framework. So here's my challenge. If you've ever felt unseen or totally forgotten in a hotel, drop your story below in the comments, because together we can build a better future. If you're in hospitality, this is your blueprint. It's not a theory, it's not a slogan. It's a proven way to grow loyalty, reduce pain points, and win the next generation of guests. This is the Inclusioneer Lab. Subscribe now, because in the next video, we're not just talking frameworks, we're talking the future, where hospitality is heading, and why the next decade will redefine what it means to feel truly welcomed. So if my content is sparking something inside of you, be sure to click the like button below and also subscribe to the channel, because we're building something really special here at the Inclusioneer Lab. We're reimagining what hospitality should be like, and we're just getting started, but we need you on board to make it happen.